Major moves. We going all in, like we got nothing to lose. We making moves. We making major moves. We making moves. We making major moves. We making moves.
Welcome back to my channel. I want to thank you guys for actively deciding to spend time with me. I'm just a guy in a Spider-Man mask, a cool one I might add. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just providing information and content already on the internet, and I just read it and present it to you guys in a way that may reach you or may not reach you. Whatever the reason is you found my page, I'm grateful you're here, and thank you for spending time with me. Let's get into this. What is up, everybody? I'm Mr. Man. Welcome to my channel. If this is your first time here, please like, please subscribe, and please share it. I offer fire content and nothing but, and I appreciate you coming back. If you're a return viewer, welcome back to the channel. I appreciate you and respect every single one of you guys that choose to be here, because you could be anywhere you want, but you're here with me. So this here is a document, just a Word document, not my written Word document. It's from Ripple, and this is allowing you to give you an insight into Ripple, discussing what Ripple is, what XRP is, what RippleNet is back in 2021 to the Bank of England. And yep, this is just a Word document, but let me show you that this isn't my Word document I typed up. All right, here we go here. So this is the website here, okay? Ripple.com/BoE, new forms of digital money discussion paper. That's where it takes you. This is what you download right from the Ripple webpage. Anyways, September 7th, 2021. We encourage, one of my intent today is to read to you, I don't know how busy you are, what you got going on in your life today, or any other day that you end up hearing this. But this isn't a document that many people can find or have found. But I did. I'm a researcher. I find some interesting documents that these companies put out there, and I enjoy reading them. So I want to just read this to you guys. So if you're short on time, just put your earbuds on, put me in your head there, and listen to what I got to say here. My intent from this is to open up your mind about Ripple, RippleNet, XRP, and Ledger, and how they all seamlessly work together, okay? So let's do this. We encourage short and succinct responses of no more than 500 words for each question. Respondents do not need to answer all questions and are encouraged to only respond where they wish to. Oh, excuse me. This link here takes us right here. All right, this is the Bank of England putting out a notice here. Summarizes responses to the 2020 discussion paper on central bank digital currency. All right, and then this came out, June 7th. The new release here about CBDCs, and then Ripple responds here. And that's what we're going to get into the response. Introduction. Before I get into the introduction, I want you guys to know that there are some stupid smart people out there. And when I say stupid smart, they are book smart, know and understand certain things, but don't apply it. And I don't get it. I'm a real estate investor. And as a real estate investor, I've done my due diligence to learn what I need to learn to understand real estate and learn the economic forces behind it. And I'm learning it now. You better believe it here. I'm learning this stuff. But to have information like strictly from school or strictly from somewhere else, just learning it and never apply this, like, I'm not a real estate investor. I'm stupid smart. I'm smart, but I don't apply this stuff, so I'm stupid. Not me personally, but there's people that are stupid smart. A lot of that exists on Twitter. People act like they know certain things because they can be eloquent with their words and speak fluently. I don't care how you speak. I don't care how you sound. If you can hold a conversation with me and know what you're talking about, fantastic. But if you are misleading people purposefully or non-maliciously without the intent to, but you're doing that, please do your homework. And do not invest in something because I'm doing it. Do it because you have a fundamental understanding of what this is and you want to do it. All right, so using blockchain tech, Ripple allows financial institutions to process payments instantly, reliably, cost-effectively, and with end-to-end visibility anywhere in the world. RippleNet, our enterprise software solution, which is powered by a standardized application programming interface and built on the market-leading and open standard Interledger protocol. We've slightly gone through Interledger, the other video, I want to say the video prior to this one, which enables financial institutions to facilitate faster and less costly cross-border payments, demonstrating that deep interoperability, not shallow, not medium, not extra medium, that deep interoperability between commercial financial institutions can make payments truly efficient. All right? Yeah, I know you heard that. Particularly in eliminating the uncertainty and risk historically involved in moving money across borders using interbank messaging alone. In addition, Ripple offers these entities an on-demand liquidity capability. Where is this ODL they're talking about? Which leverages what? XRP, the digital asset native to the XRPL. XRP Ledger is the XRPL, a distributed ledger platform, as a bridge between fiat currencies, further reducing the friction and cost for commercial financial institutions to transact across multiple global markets. Not a few, not a handful, not 10 or 12, multiple global markets. Global markets. Although Ripple utilizes XRP and the XRPL in its product offerings, XRP is independent of Ripple, right? Two separate entities. You have Ripple, you have XRP. You don't need this for this to exist still. This eventually might disappear in some shape, way, or form. I don't know how, but again, they're making it known that this is not attached to this. Why is that important? It's a known thing. It's like watching a movie. You never see somebody just sitting on the couch, relaxing, chilling, for no reason, and then that piece of that person chilling not mean something later on. It's never just someone chilling and then the movie ends or something like that. Then you're like, what the hell was that? Why was that scene even important? Doesn't exist. All right, everything has a reason. So, although Ripple utilizes XRP and the XRPL in its product offering, XRP is independent of Ripple. The XRPL is decentral, open source, and based on cryptography. Ripple leverages XRP for use in its product suite because of XRP's suitability for cross-border payments. Key characteristics of XRP include scalability, energy efficient, and cost, the benefits of which will be passed on to the consumer. Who's the consumer? People always just assume it's just us, you and me. You're the consumer, I'm the consumer. That's correct to a degree. The consumer can be the central bank as well. They are consuming this product. They are consuming RippleNet. They are utilizing the XRPL. And in such using XRPL, they are utilizing Interledger in some shape, way, or form. They are consumers consuming this product. That consumer reduction in terms of price because of value and being energy efficient and reducing costs, that gets rolled down to the next consumer. The next consumer being transferred from wholesale CBDC down to retail CBDC, which would be your commercial banks. And who does that saving get rolled onto as well? That'll be us at that point, all right? The benefits of which will be passed on to the consumer. Consumer's a consumer, right? Just go down the line, go down the chain. And will help reduce friction in the market by for cross-border payments. Also, Ripple also recently announced a pilot of a private version of the public open source XRP Ledger. All right, so that's a CBDC Ledger, right? Who makes CBDCs? Central banks. So what is this? This is a silo. It's a silo. It's their own little entity. Picture Hyperledger Fabric. Hyperledger Fabric is created and built by IBM. We'll see IBM right here. IBM created Hyperledger Fabric. Hyperledger Fabric with IBM is sitting and built on top of XLM, Stellar's protocol, okay? Same thing. Picture Hyperledger Fabric from IBM as the central banks, XRPL. Then you have the RippleNet, which is the central banks, IBM. And in that, you have their products, which is the CBDCs. The CBDC Private Ledger is based on the same blockchain technology that powers the XRPL, which has supported the management of billions of dollars of value for over 8 years without any significant security or operational issues. The CBDC Private Ledger can be used for both payments and issuing currencies. CBDCs are going to be called currencies, right? And by leveraging the XRPL and associated RippleNet technologies. Commercial, financial institutions, and central banks are able to make cost-effective, reliable, and close to instantaneous payments, including at high volumes, and for use cases such as micropayments. Micropayments will help reduce everybody's cost at that point, so things will be more economical and feasible for the end user. Again, the end user would be us, but there are multiple consumers in the chain. While the CBDC Private Ledger has been designed on the basis of an open source solution, Ripple has adapted it for use so that central banks can run a private network allowing complete control over the system. If you had your own, when you build your company on top of the XRPL, because it's decentralized, you can make your own little silo. You hold XRP. This is just a theory and concept in my head. You hold XRP. What can you do at that point? Should XRP be the coin that we believe it's going to be and a high value? You can at that point in your company mint your own currency, if you will. You know, I can mint the Mr. Man dollar, you know, and then issue that out, and that'll have value because it's built on top of the XRP. And if the XRPL, sorry, and if XRP has value and my currency is backed by XRP, then my currency has value. And that's how that can work. You can do that yourself. So, let's keep going. With that background, Ripple is pleased to share the following responses to the discussion papers, questions on public policy objectives. Public policy objective: how important is direct access for the general public to central bank money in a digital world? How important is direct access? So when it says direct access, China has done a direct access structure from central bank to end user. End user would be the citizens or the individuals who live in China at that point, or whoever's using the CBDC. I issue CBDC, central bank, you get CBDC. All right, that's what that is. Ensuring public access to central bank money, whether in physical or digital form, remains an important priority. However, Ripple believes that introducing a CBDC in the UK could bring significant benefits. Unlike cash, a CBDC could enable micropayments or otherwise be programmed for specific uses to support government aims or micropayment policy, such as delivering targeted financial stimulus. UBI, here's the use case, right? This is going to be the use case. Why is this the first thing they talk about? This is going to be the first use case once this black swan appears and we have the next pandemic, and people are crying out because the real estate has collapsed and jobs have shut down and the car market has imploded and real estate's done and people can't afford things. Please, sir, please, may I have some more? They're going to want that free money. They found out how much it costs to onboard you. The government found out. I don't know if Ripple's involved in this, you know, if they're complicit in this act, but the government has found out in onboarding people with the stimulus from 2020 when they locked people down and you could stay home at that point. CBDCs used for this purpose could be time-bound, made region-specific, or linked to specific industries to stimulate consumer demand and support key industries and policy outcomes like the green economy or decarbonization. So let's break that down. People hear time bound, right? And they're like, oh my God, they're going to time bound us and they're lock us out after this, like the Canadian truckers, and stop thinking with fear, all right? Man up, grow some nuts, let that shit swing in the wind. Time bound, you're a central bank now, and you're moving wholesale CBDCs, not central bank, not retail CBDCs. Here not here, but in Canada, in US, in Europe, in developed countries, we will be operating on a two-tiered system. It's not going to be a direct model like I just described for China, from central bank to end user. It's going to be central bank, wholesale digital currency, wholesale central bank digital currency to the intermediary. You're going to have that intermediary. At that point, if it's moving value, it's probably going to be XRP. You're going to draw liquidity from Interledger into XRP. convert into, not convert, but CBDC will be on the back of that if it is XRP, moving that CBDC value itself. At such point, it reaches an intermediary, that clearing and settlement. It clears it. At that point, it may or it should convert into an RCBDC, which is a retail CBDC. So it clears it from the central bank wholesale into retail now. So you could potentially be on a whole new framework, which would be similar still. Could be XLM, could be XRP, depending if XRP is doing retail CBDCs. I don't know. But on the wholesale side, if the atomic settlement isn't settled at that point, atomic settlement being, I paid for this individual receives it, they sent their payment, it's settled atomically at the same time. If that doesn't happen, the central bank doesn't want their money locked up in lieu. If that was you, you don't want your money locked up in lieu, just sitting there waiting and like, oh, I gotta wait till for this person to send it back. If they send it back, please send me back my money. No, they want a stopping mechanism, so your ass isn't waiting all damn day. You know, you send that money, you're like, oh shit, now it's just gone. I screwed that. No, if they don't accept it because they didn't follow through with their end of the bargain or their settlement, it's null and void. It's time bound, right? If you don't accept, it's been half an hour, done. I want my money back. All right. That's what that is. That's how that works. They're not going to come into your bank account and claw that back. We got a two-tiered system. We're not China. I mean, we're not smooth here either. We're fucking tyrants, but whatever. It's another story. At the same time, privately issued stablecoins may provide some immediate advantages that a CBDC cannot. As noted in a recent speech by Federal Reserve Vice Chair for Supervision Randall K. Quarles, a global US dollar stablecoin network could encourage use of the dollar by making cross-border payments faster and cheaper, and it potentially could be deployed much faster and with fewer downsides than a CBDC. Example, were central banks to replace commercial banks as the primary provider of money, credit could be constrained. So when your money is in the bank here, I'll give you an example. When your money is in the bank and just sitting there in the bank, you got a fee of like $16 a month, whatever the hell it is, but they give you like 0.02% interest. The central bank wholesale CBDC will not have interest, will not bear interest. All right, it will not bear interest. They said this. When it converts to the retail CBDC in that commercial bank might offer interest for them to say thank you for leaving your CBDC, for trusting us with your money and using us. Unless you're an individual custodian, and you custody your own money, you're not going to accrue interest. At that point, you would capitalize on a liquidity pool, so somebody else can invest with or utilize your collateral or your crypto as an investment and make money for that. And thus, because you had your own liquidity pool, they pay you for utilizing that. Does that make sense? I hope so. To be sure, stablecoins present regulatory hurdles that must be addressed before they can be used widely. The discussion paper observes for that stablecoins to endure, they must promise credibility and consistently to be fully interchangeable with existing forms of money, to ensure that users have the same confidence in stablecoins as commercial bank money. Vice Chair Quarles echoed these concerns, noting that different factors, including where a fractional rather than full reserve exists, or the stablecoin holder does not have a clear claim on the underlying asset, create the risk that some triggering event could cause a large number of stablecoin holders to exchange their coins around the bank all at once for other assets, and that stablecoin system will crumble, will not be able to meet such demands while maintaining a reasonably stable value. Picture USDT. I'm not sure if you guys are new to this channel, but to those who understand crypto and have been around for a bit, USDC also had experienced a depegging a couple months back, actually, during the Silicon Valley Bank collapse and the Silvergate crumbling as well. USDC had depegged. So, but these concerns are, did I read all this? Yeah, but these concerns are imminently addressable. We believe there's a place for reliance on both physical and digital currency, whether issued by the Bank of England or private sector. Yep, private switch broad. Okay, and the use of one needed to preclude the other, where proportionate and risk-based controls are in place. Finally, should the Bank of England, the BoE, ultimately decide to issue a CBDC, we feel the utilization of a private-public platform approach is the best way to ensure maximum functionality. The more open and extensible the payment platform, the more utility it will deliver. Broad utility and interoperability will define success for CBDCs. So, was it 2022 or early 2023? The BoE had come out and said that they are going to be using Ripple as a partner. Right? So they're in the RippleNet for a fact. So they can make use on on-demand liquidity. It's beautiful. It really is beautiful. People ask, why is it so low? They're not sending like large, frequent payments. All right, and you're not going to get like 100. A lot of banks are partnered with Ripple. You have 40 countries right now utilizing ODL, but you're not going to have all these large central banks yet utilizing this. You got to have that one trailblazer to lead, right? To play around, to understand, to learn, to know, to figure out what's going on. I had unearthed that the BoE, along with Ripple, had partnered with a company, not Ripple had, but the BoE had partnered with this company, an artificial intelligence company called MindBridge. And they are the trendsetter right now. But you have the Bank of Singapore, the Singapore Monetary Authority of Singapore, MAS, partnering with Ripple as well, and they're exploring different avenues as well. So but a lot of these central banks are utilizing projects in the background. And then you have a few banks going live, if you will, utilizing this stuff, not testing it, but they're holding their old platform and their new platform and trying to keep that healthy balance of things still. And you never go 100% in to begin with. It starts off small and gradually picks up, okay? That's what we're going through right now. It's going to gradually pick up. I know this is a longer video, but I hope you find value in this. Like, subscribe, please leave a comment down in the below. I know my man Mr. G Rattlesnake will be in this, and I appreciate that guy. I appreciate all you guys that have a comment to send, but please smash that like button there. I don't want it to sound like that, but yeah, just please hit the like button. You know, I want to keep bringing this news to you guys here, and I have a passion to do this, so irregardless, I'll keep doing this. So firms like Ripple are well positioned to innovate and solve the interoperability challenges that development of such a platform could ultimately create. RippleNet is a network of financial institutions utilizing Ripple technology to enable faster, low-cost payments around the world. The technology and network's rules enables enhanced interoperability between these financial institutions. Again, you want to be interoperable with everything. Just because I use Microsoft Office, if I was to send you a file, or Word, and I sent you a Word file and you don't have Word, it's no good for you. You want to be able to open this up on another platform still. You want that interoperability, okay? Where am I? I'll get at my... The technology and network rules enable interoperability. Okay, alignment of protocols across CBDCs, including any that are ultimately issued by the Bank of England. Private stakeholders and cross-border payment networks could enable similar benefits associated with RippleNet and end-to-end global transactions. Real-time, 24/7 atomic settlements based on efficient routing, transparency, and immutability associated with a universal set of payment information. Do you agree with banks' views on protection and privacy? What would you regard as a minimum set of precautions? So that's the bank's question. Number 2, what does Ripple say? As the discussion paper acknowledges, widespread implementation on either a CBDC or stablecoin will involve a range of actors. For example, the issuer, including the central bank in the case of a CBDC, the wallet. So why is Ripple here talking about stablecoins? Right? They're not a stablecoin issuer. They issue XRP. Right? XRP issues debt essentially. But could XRP also be a stablecoin? I don't mean stablecoin in the regular sense of the word. I mean global stable coin. All right. I hope this isn't new to some of you guys out there. If it is, let me just show you, okay, the kind of stuff I get into. I'm sure people should know by now. Ripple global stable cost Global stable coin. All right. Why is Ripple concerned with the global stablecoin race? Why does this, are they here talking about, the algorithmic stablecoin race? No, they're not. Are they here talking about, Ethereum's upgrade to whatever the hell it is? No, they're not. They're here talking about the stablecoin. Why? Why does it involve them? Why does this involve Ripple at all? Because it must, or else they wouldn't put it up there. They're not putting up shit about competition. They're putting up stuff that they do. All right. So no, they're not a stable coin. They're a global stable coin. Okay. Where am I? Okay, we agree with the Bank of England that failure to meet users' reasonable expectations of privacy would be detrimental for confidence and trust in money payments, depending on how they are issued. CBDCs may require central banks to take on additional operation tasks, such as know your customers analysis, leaving them responsible for protecting large troves of sensitive financial information. They don't want to do that shit. Notwithstanding the discussion paper's assertion that a central bank could place a greater priority on providing users with money that offers privacy, trust, or greater accountability than private sector providers. Governments are not immune to hacks or other unauthorized disclosures. As recent as December 2020, for example, the U.S. Department of Treasury suffered a significant cyber incident that reached the top levels of Treasury leadership. I was just listening about this today. Accordingly, it's important that CBDC creation be paired with robust data and privacy protection measures to ensure that any customer information gathered by specifically tailored to the risk being addressed and safeguards are implemented to prevent unwarranted dissemination. So if you have a direct model, direct from the central bank to the end user, which would be you at that point, then I'm not going to say an easy hack, but it's not as harder, not as difficult. There's not many layers to have to hack through or break through to get to the end user. Just there's one layer, right? If there's a tiered layer, two-tiered layer, there's an intermediary that also has the know your customer portion there. And then it goes to the central banks. The central banks want it easier for them, or they're not the ones doing the KYC, the know your customer. The intermediary does that. So the banks want the trust line from this central bank to this intermediary here, that clearing and settlement. That clearing and settlement now does the know your customer for that bank, commercial bank, or have the trust line with the commercial bank, and that commercial bank does the KYC for the customer. You, me, the bank account owner of, ABC Dogs, whatever business is built on top of that, okay? That's how that works. Okay. We're not too far. Well, we're just about down here now. Okay, final. We recognize it's important to ensure that a CBDC is not used for illicit purposes. At the same time, we believe that maintaining user privacy, including protection of consumer data, is key to ensuring continued confidence and trust in money and payments. Should the BoE be able to balance these objectives, we believe a CBDC might well bring many unbanked or underbanked people into Britain's financial system for the first time. So who's leading this charge? Back from 2020, 2021, here we have Bank of England, okay? Follow the Bank of England. They're the one leading this charge. Follow Jamie Dimon to find out what the black swan, not what the black swan's going to be, but what's happening in the market itself, because shit's going down around that guy. But he's also playing it smart by setting up shop in crypto-friendly places like Florida and Singapore. The discussion paper observes that there are currently 1.2 million unbanked people in the UK alone, equivalent to roughly 1.4% of UK's population 2019-2020. Given the proportion of unbanked people in the UK has declined from 7.39 in 2002 to 2003, and this downgrade trend looks set to continue as card and contactless payments become more prominent. Ripple believes CBDCs, for which only a smartphone is needed to access, could provide consumers with an easy and secure way to access central bank money and financial services. Is this the last question? Coming close. We're coming close to it. What steps could be taken and by whom to help promote interoperability of new forms of digital money with other payment systems and thereby foster a competitive environment? This should be interesting. Ripple believes that interoperability achieved through alignment of national payments protocols and adoption of international standard protocols will ultimately be core to any successful CBDC design and help avoid creating a closed loop system. No one wants to be in closed loop systems anymore. You want options, all right? Hence, RippleNet. RippleNet provides these central banks with options. Like Ripple's telling you what it is right there, okay? Ripple itself supplies protocols to drive the efficient globalization of value through multiple initiatives with financial services and help source communities. RippleNet, our enterprise software solution, which is powered by a standardized application programming interface API and built on the market-leading and open standard Interledger protocol, enables financial institutions to facilitate faster and less costly cross-border payments, demonstrating that deep interoperability between commercial financial institutions can make payments truly efficient, particularly in eliminating the uncertainty and risk historically involved in moving money across borders using interbank messaging alone. We recently, did I read this shit? It sounds like the same thing. We recently announced as well the pilot of a private ledger for central banks considering CBDCs. The CBDC Private Ledger can be used for both payments. Did I read this shit? It sounds like just up top there. Has been designed on the basis of an open solution. Ripple has adapted for it. We believe that similar design choices, including use of the standardized APIs, will help facilitate widespread adoption of CBDCs and strengthen the case for their global usage. Relatedly, we expect there will be many different wallets and wallet providers for digital money users. For example, consumers, merchants, and businesses, we have spoken about this, to choose from. While such digital wallets could be used to enable peer-to-peer or wallet-to-wallet payments, we agree that infrastructure will need to be put in place and must provide for, among other things, consumer protection, fraud prevention, authentication, and authorization. We thus agree with the discussion paper's twin assertions that any infrastructure would need to consider technology and data standards so that information could be exchanged seamlessly between the different systems involved, and developing any new infrastructure that is fully interoperable would need private sector participants to be fully engaged. Creation of a task force that involves the public and private sectors collaboration together to exchange ideas and test solution. So Ripple's saying that a task force should be made, okay? Whose efforts are informed by the work occurring on an international level, including the G7, G20, FSB, and IOSCO, seems most likely to yield success. Ultimately, we believe that private sector solutions such as the use of neutral bridge assets like XRP, supported by software solutions like the CBDC Private Ledger, could be an important role to play in supporting healthy liquidity markets, that allow for frictionless and cost-effective value movement between new forms of digital money in real time, enabling the exchange of smaller market participants, less liquid digital money pairs, and increasing competition by lowering entry to barrier and smaller market participants. An open platform approach bringing together expertise and investment from different stakeholders, including private sector firms, government, and academia, provides the best opportunity to build value-adding services without friction from intermediaries. All right. Who's this task force again? Payment Council. All right. This is the Faster Payments Council. I believe it's this. I could be wrong, but let me see. Faster Payments Task Force. Yeah. Let me just confirm this here. Here we go. All right, here's Ripple talking about it now. Federal Reserve Task Force, Ripple improves speed and transparency of global payments back in 2017. So they already had this existing here. Here's the Faster Payments Task Force. Feels so good to be back on here helping you, doing this, reading these things. It's just nice. Helping people learn. Or if you learned already, just to help you get really familiar. Come on. I'm on. There we go. That's it? No, that's not it. Let's go back. Okay. There it is. Let's open a couple of them here. See who opens first. Here we go. Ripple Labs joins Fed's Faster Payments Task Force, back in 2015. So they're leading the way from way back when, saying, oh, we should do this. They've already had it. This has been going on for time. They're just playing the game also, right? So they can put out media there. When the media comes out, even though it's behind the scenes, it still happened a long time ago. All right? This is just so that people can read, and this is just so they can say that, you know, we told you so. Irregardless of when they put it out, they told you so, okay? So do know that. Do learn that. Recognize that. Here we go. Here's the task force. All right? Ripple's a contributor to this task force here, the Federal Reserve Task Force. There we go. Faster Payments. Then you have the Faster Payments Council. I believe the Faster Payments Council had created the Faster Payments Task Force, something along those lines. There'd have to be a council first who then creates and implements this entity of the task force. So I hope you guys got something from this. I hope you appreciated this. I do appreciate you guys coming back on a continual basis whenever I put out the content here. Until next time, I'll catch you on the next one.
Making major moves. We going all in like we got nothing to lose. We making moves. We making major moves. We making moves.